Hey, I'm Scott Grove from Imagine Grove, and I've been a professional woodworker all my life, about 40 plus years. And for the last 10 years, I've been teaching and refining how to do curved joinery using a router. And that led me to write this book, Hardwood Edging and Inlay for Curved Tables. And during that process, I realized there was a need for an offset extended router base that accepted a template guide. I couldn't find any on the market. And I've looked, I couldn't find an offset router base that accepted a template guide. Someone missed the boat on that one. In addition, I couldn't find extra large template guides or bushings that would offset a 1/2-inch router bit on either side of the cutting seam. So I spent the last year designing a variety of prototypes and perfecting the ultimate router base. I wanted to pack in as many features as I possibly could think of, and I think I've got them all. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So first, using an extended router base, it helps the stability of your router, which gives you more control and more precision. How many of you have tilted the router base and have ruined an edge or a cut because the router is hanging off the edge? So besides it accepting a template guide, I include a removable center disc so it'll accept larger router bits. I've also added 2 slots on either side for adjustable fence, a center slot for cutting circles or large radiuses. There's also rulers, metric and imperial on either side, so you can make accurate adjustments. There's a series of universal holes, so it fits a variety of routers. Of course, I couldn't fit every router I wanted to, but I've included a centering pin. So the centering pin allows you to mount your grandfather's or the odd router onto this thing and get it exactly centered. There's also pins with nylon bushings for curved edge work. The mortising pins can also be used for centering a mortise. By putting a board in, twisting and rubbing the bushings on either side, that puts the router bit dead center on the board. Makes it very easy for mortising. I've included low profile bolts with knobs for your fences. The system comes with a 1-inch template guide. And with that template guide, I've given you a 1.5-inch bushing and a 2-inch bushing. These bushings are oversized and I couldn't find any, so I had them made. And what these are great for is to offset a 1/2-inch router bit on either side of the cutting seam. In addition, it will do an inlay on that seam. More about that later, and in fact, that's what my book is all about. In addition, I provided a parallel drawing disc. This allows you to draw a line 1/2-inch parallel from a template. You can also install this into the 1.5-inch bushing or into the 2-inch bushing, giving you a 3/4-inch offset or a 1-inch offset. This is really important for layouts when you're doing template work and using your bushings. I'll tell you more about that later. In addition, if you're doing a straight cut and you want to make a second cut and take just a little bit more off of, like a 1/16 of an inch, to clean up that cut or just to reduce the size a little bit, what I've done is the spindle center to the edge of the round side of the template guide is 4.5 inches, but it is 4 7/16 to the straight side. So you can simply rotate your router base and run the straight side on your straight edge, and you would get a reduction of your cut by 1/16 of an inch. It's great for rough cutting and then doing a clean cut. Really handy. I've also included registration marks to locate the dead center if you're trying to plunge on a specific spot. I've given holes on the outside of the router base, and that allows you to, if you want to make a quick router table, gives you holes that you can quickly screw to a router table, or if you want to include a shim sheet or raised surface for some reason, it just makes it a lot easier. So you'll never have to take your router off the router base. Now, one advantage of this entire system is that everything is made by the same manufacturer. So the bushings have very high tolerances and fit on a template guide. The template guide fits into the insert plate. The insert plate fits into the router base with very high tolerances. I don't know about you, but I've seen some of these. You buy them from one manufacturer, you put it in a different manufacturer, and there's a lot of slop. There's no slop in my system. So this router base has universal holes. I've tried to pick most of the commonly used routers and given the hole patterns for that. Believe it or not, that was extremely difficult to do. Most manufacturers do not provide their mounting hole pattern. I don't know why, but that's kind of stupid as far as I'm concerned. So I also bought other universal mounting plates. Every one on the market that I could find. The problem is that none of them lined up exactly to each other. So I had to rule out all of them. It was really frustrating. I then also downloaded every hole pattern I could find from third parties. And again, a lot of them didn't line up. I couldn't find one. Like Porter cable is about the only one that was consistent. So with that said, if I could find 3 that cross-referenced and were the same, I kind of went with it. Then I tried to squeeze in as many holes as I could. Again, if your router doesn't have hole patterns, I've given you the centering pin that will help you center your router and align and drill your own holes. Please look for that video, but I'll show you how to do that. It's very easy to do. So I look forward for your feedback on how the Ultimate Router Base system performs for you. Please share with me your project. I'd be happy to share that with everybody else. So I hope the Ultimate Router Base will give you more control, more precision, and more safety. If you already haven't done so, I appreciate if you subscribe to my YouTube channel and on my website, imaginegrove.com. I have a free design newsletter there that you might find useful. So thanks for watching, and remember to find the line and then cross it.